Hello everyone, so welcome back to C Spark. So today we are going to talk about functions in C++. How do functions work and why do we need functions? So basically what a function is that instead of writing the code in your main function, you declare a function above your main function so that each and every code is written above the main function and you only call that function with the given arguments in your main function so that you could just easily run your program. So for example, there's a built-in function in C++ which is a swap function which basically swaps two values whether it's without a loop or in a loop. So let me show you guys that. So for example, we ask the user to input two integers. So we're gonna ask that enter the value for integer 1. And now we're gonna ask the user to input the value for integer 2. So now that the user has input the values for both the integers, I'm going to show you what the user has inputted. See out the values and inputted, the values entered are x and y. And now what we are going to do is that now I'm going to highlight you guys what the function really does is that when I write swap x comma y, so and now when I see out x and see out y, so basically look, if you guys see that rather than writing a whole code for a swap function that like storing a x into an integer z and then z is equals to y and then y is equals to x, we just call a built-in function swap inside our main function. So like we do not externally know that what is happening inside this function. So like when I run my code now, so yeah, we're gonna enter the value for x to be 4 and the value for y to be 6. So as you can see that the this is what is happening, that the values entered are 4 is for x and 6 is for y, and this is executed in line number 11. But when we have called swap in line number 12 and in line number 13 when I'm outputting both these values, so we get to see that x has been swapped with the value of y. So now x is 6 and now y is 4. So that is how functions really work. So it's like a good way of making your code more neat and more reusable. So now rather than using a built-in function, I'm going to show you guys how to create your own function for a sum function, and then we're going to use it directly in our main function and see how it works. So now let me make a new file, sum.cpp. So we are going to do the same over here. Okay. So for functions, you have to be very careful that a function is always declared above the main function, not inside a main function. So for a function, you need to know a few things. That for to declare a function, first of all, you need to define its data type. Either it's going to be a void function, either it's going to be a function with the data type of int, a data type of character, a data type of float, and etc. And then you're going to define your function's name, and then you're going to pass the function two arguments. So for example, we're going to make a function. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to create a function sum above the main function. So as our sum function is going to return an integer value, so the return type of our function should be int. So the function is declared as the follows: int sum, and we are going to pass it two integers. That would be any one, int a or int b. You could choose any other letters. So what we're going to do inside our function is that whatever values a and b have, we are going to declare a variable s, which is going to sum both the values, and it has to output cout the sum of the two integers is. Yeah, so that's it for how a function works. So now rather than writing all of this code inside my main function, I will just call this function inside my main function, and I will get the output of the sum of both the integers which I am going to declare inside my main function. So now let's declare our two integers, integer x and y, and we're going to initialize them by the value of 0. And now we're going to ask the user to input enter value for first integer. So he's going to input x, and then we're going to ask him to enter value for second integer. Yeah, so now he's going to input x, input y, and now I'm directly going to call the sum function. So while calling the function, you don't call the function with the data type. We just call the function by its name and pass the values you have declared above. As in case we have declared two integers, integer x and y, so we're going to pass x and y. So it will directly give us the sum, and now we're going to run our program. Just a minute. Yeah, so we are done, and now we are going to run our program. Yeah, now it is asking for the value of the percentages, which is, so we can give the value of 4, and now we can give the value of 3. So yeah, you can see that the sum of the two integers is 7, which is very easy. So now that is how a function works. So you can create any function, a function even to multiply, divide, or do anything for your program or any other sort of things. So yeah, and I would also like to update you guys that this would be the last video for the C++ basics things. And now from the next video, I'm going to start the DSA playlist for C++, from which I'm going to start arrays, and we would be doing all the lead code questions too for C++ DSA course. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel.